guilty of crime.
All right. Hey, everybody. What's up? I am Jay with Guilty of Crime, and I'm here a little bit early, but I wanted to make sure that my flag was up, my background was going, and we were able to do this. If somebody could send Veronica B. True an iPhone link to join our little crew here, would you do that? Jojo, you're the queen of links. If you would do that, Foxy Amazon, what's up? And I want to thank, of course, my lovely Clark that I don't think is there yet, but she got me a shirt and I love it. It's got the American flag on it. It's got the guns on it. We defend, and then it's showtime, which you can see right through the background. So what's up, everybody? Hello. Now we're here early today because we're going to stream Deception Detective as he does it at 4 p.m. So we're going to make sure we smash the like button over there. We're going to play it. We're going to react to it. And then we're going to show him some love afterwards, okay? Because we want to get to 50,000 so that he makes more videos. Now, I already let him know we are going to simultaneously. He doesn't live stream, so he put it as a premiere. So I'm going to play that premiere. And then I still have a show for you to talk about Sebastian, what's going on. I want to go over his 10 month that he's been missing, etc. So after we play the video, we're going to still have more to go over that I've got set for you. We're going to talk about what happened that particular night from 10 or 10:30 until the next day. I'm going to read a comment of the day that I loved on my community page. I couldn't have said it better. And I think her name was Mary, the one that said this comment on there about creators and the Sebastian Rogers case. So I couldn't have said it better. I'm just going to read it. Other Mona, what's up? Yeah, it's going to be a good day today, and I am not afraid to stream about Sebastian. I heard somebody earlier, I felt really bad because they wanted to report on Sebastian, and I think they have pretty good content, but they're scared to do it because the moment that you come out with the new Sebastian video, you get 10 different creators that have 70 to 100,000 subscribers that are just dumping on you and smashing you. And Foxy Amazon knows I am the fearless leader. So they can dump on me as much as they want. What people think about me is none of my business. What people say about me is none of my business. So if you hear bad things about Jay from Guilty of Crime, come over to me, Jay from Guilty of Crime. Ask me about it. But don't tell me about it if you're just hearing bad stuff. Because you know what? People have been talking bad stuff my entire life. Just because I wake up and breathe every day. Okay. So it doesn't matter. I don't need to hear that. I love you guys. You guys are the crew. You got my back. We're going to do it like that. All right. So, yes, Leanne, amen, sister. And we're going to have to figure out a way to get you ladies and you people hooked up together. Now, I know there's a Discord. Okay. Yeah. Haters going to hate Jack Stormrow. And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear 20 people a day saying Jay is this or Jay is that, or look at her, listen to her voice. It's terrible. Look at her haircut. Oh, she's so gay. Whatever. I don't want to hear that. So that being said, I don't want to hear about it unless the roof is on fire and I gotta get a water hose or somebody over here to put out the fire. I don't care. I really don't. I'm a professional at ignoring stuff like that. All right. Happy New Year. Thank you for reminding me of that. I came in hot today. We're gonna come in hot the whole time. We need to get the group together, you guys, because I love you guys so much, but I can't exchange emails like that. I can't exchange what I love you guys, remind you, and nobody personal, but I got lots of people asking me to send this person that or send this person that or can you give her my number? Or can you can you send a video to her? Or hey Jay, you guys have to exchange emails in the chat, or you guys have to go to my forum and go talk amongst each other, because now that I have 20,500 and something, it's really hard to keep up with y'all, and I don't have time to exchange y'all's information. I love you, but I can't do it. That being said, hit the like button if you like how I present content. Subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, Elizabeth Toller said it right. Jay is so gay. Yeah, say it. Say it to me. Loud and proud, baby. All right. So let's get into it. I hope DD's on. We're going to start with that. I know he's going to come up shortly. So we'll get started with that. And then we're going to do the entire show. We're going to talk. Hit the like button, subscribe, get your memberships if you don't have one. So you see here, we're on our man DD's page. So we're waiting for him to come on. I'm going to have to fix my camera at some point. I think it got moved over. Okay, there, I'm a little more in the middle. All right, so when that comes on, we're gonna start, and let's so over a little bit, just this way. Trying to fix my camera for y'all this way. All right, all good. I'll get it fixed. Okay, 48. Wow, there's 114 people. All right, it was 111. Say a prayer that we find Sebastian. I'm going to read some of your comments after. We're going to go over the news. We're going to talk about what happened to Sebastian. And then let me pause that. What I'm going to start with instead, while we're waiting those 5 minutes, you guys, I want to. Now, I posted this on my channel last night. So this is what we're going to start with, you guys. 10 months of Sebastian missing. Madeline went. This came out on the news, and I posted on my page. So I'm going to pull this down while we're waiting for Mr. DD. Some of your guys' eye candy, whatever. We love him. He's got brain candy as well. All right. So disappearance of Sebastian. It's been 10 months. This was on the news. Maddie went missing at the same time. We know where we are in the Maddie case. Edith, thank you so much for the one guilty of crime membership. All right. Yeah, make sure you guys are opted in to get those memberships, okay? And hello everybody. Marcy, what's up, Sadie's mama? All of you guys. I hope you guys are also checking out I hope you're checking out the community page, because we're doing more quizzes on there, and I'm posting more things. Gay or straight doesn't matter. What matters is effect, finding missing people, and justice for those who lost their lives. Jay does just that, right? That's what matters, and we don't want to bash other creators. I try my hardest, even those that bash me, I try my hardest not to say their names. I try to just let you know what Mary said. I don't think they should be in true crime if they're just streaming all day about other creators and how bad they are. That's not true crime. That's gossip. All right. Gay crap, whatever. Well, it's a promise from God. Don't care who likes it. Like, all good. Nobody has to do the rainbow stuff. I do all of it. I'm proud, and we love you guys all. If you're in the group, there's lots of love. All right, let me take a look at DD, see if he's still got 3 minutes. We're going to listen to this, and then we'll get started with him. This case is awful. People don't want to even cover it anymore because they're afraid, you guys. That is not okay. Let's listen up.
Sadly, confounding mystery. 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, who vanished without a trace from his home in Hendersonville 10 months ago. As Nick Barris tells us, his Amber Alert is still active. The case remains open. So many of you have continued to follow any developments in what has become one of the top stories of this past year.
Yes.
Sebastian Rogers, a now 16-year-old with autism, vanished from his Hendersonville home in Sumner County sometime overnight on February 26th earlier this year. It was reported he left the house barefoot and with a flashlight. There was a massive search effort from ground and air in the first 8 days after the teen disappeared.
This is the system that we use to track all of our searchers.
Sumner County EMA Director Ken Widener spearheaded the search using crews on foot and drones. Divers searched ponds. Spelunkers were called in to check sinkholes.
The white dots are caved and they've all been searched.
Bloodhounds and cadaver dogs were used, but contrary to some reports,
None of them, to my understanding, were actually on a trail that was following Sebastian.
search efforts then continued for months. There was simply no trace of the teen found, no scent trail, no security video, nothing. It was as though Sebastian simply vanished.
I'm hoping he's still alive. You know, that's my main hope right now, is that he's not deceased. I mean, I keep praying that he's alive. I keep praying that somebody's going to see him.
Now, some people say he's alive, and some people that say he's alive are actually really super credible. Now, I heard Dog the Bounty Hunter a few months ago saying that he believes he's alive and he's going to bring him home. Proud American, Happy New Year to you all. And I just want you to know it's not really about the gay thing at all. It's just about being bashed by creators for a lot of things, right? I see people in the forums, oh, Jay is grifting. Oh, Jay's she's what is that? Talking about her roof, needing a roof and grifting. I really do need a roof, and it got started on it, but people stretch the truth and they love to bash. So I don't need to hear about that, y'all. It's all good. I know who I am and what I do, and I've known that for a long time. And all you guys are here because you see what others see that we're reporting on true crime, right? So I'm gonna read a comment later from the best comment of the day, and we'll leave it at that. We are reporting on Sebastian. This is new. This is from a day ago, and that's what we're doing today. We want to find out what happened.
Somebody's going to call 911.
Seth Rogers shares custody of his son Sebastian, who was staying with his mother and stepfather the night he disappeared. His mother.
All right. Now, nobody just disappears. I'm going to pull this down while we bring Mr. DD up. We love him, show love for him, and we're going to go to that. We're going to do this together, and then we'll come back to the news. Let's go. I already hit the like button, and I've been subscribed for a really long time. All right.
4. So who knows what happened? His mom, Katie Proudfoot, his dad, Seth Rogers, his stepdad, Chris Proudfoot, a kidnapper, only Sebastian himself? Let's watch his stepdad on the Elevated Truth podcast to find out. I haven't seen this part yet. I wanted to react to it with all of you, so let's go ahead and listen.
I'm not up here to smear you or smear Katie or smear Seth, okay? That's not my goal.
Smear. Listen, it's not a smear. It's the fact of.
Now, I want you guys to know this is part 2. If you remember correctly, if you saw any of this, and you see Queen Bee up over there, she's in a lot of these things, a lot of different channels on her channel, a lot of different creators. It's crazy. But that was like a 3-hour stream. So we're just reacting to, this is part 2 from the other day, which is fantastic. I can't believe I caught it in time.
An insinuation or the way that people perceive it. And what do? They're going to turn around and they're going to blow up the phone line, the tip line, and push this narrative that is so false. That's what they're going to do.
But hasn't that been the same thing, the little bit of information that you and Katie have put out to creators done to Seth?
Actually, no, we don't put out false information about Seth.
I didn't say false, just information in general.
I mean, to be fair, if it's information that should be known about Seth, isn't that worth it?
Why doesn't that work the same? Why doesn't that work the same way for Chris and Katie, though?
Well, if it's actual factual information, sure, put it out and call law enforcement. Go for it.
I mean, listen, you know just as well as I know.
This ain't about tit for tat of what he did in the past, what she's done in the past, what I've done in the past. Who cares? This
But
ain't about our
apparently,
characters. This is about finding Sebastian.
That's Chris Proudfoot speaking. I pointed out because it sure doesn't sound like someone whose son vanished 10 months prior. His biggest concern is people calling the tip line. You'd think that would be the main reason for calling into a YouTube show like this, to encourage people to do exactly that. He didn't even give out the tip line phone number.
And he didn't talk about anything about that night. What's up, little red zero? Good to see you. He didn't do that the time before. He's not doing that now. He hasn't done that. They haven't done that. And we don't have to go back and sit there and watch the old news. And the first one, they didn't show their faces. Do you remember that weird media thing that they came out and did, Chris and Katie, where you only could see their hands and you couldn't see their face? That's strategic, you guys. When someone doesn't want you to see their face, even though their child is missing and has been missing, that's odd. That's a huge red flag. And especially in true crime, if you know true crime, that is not, you want everybody to see your face so they can come to you and say, I saw Sebastian, or I didn't, or this is, or hey, I'm a friend of his. I want you to know. You don't just show your hands like this. That was really weird. It was the hands interview. Now we're coming back 10 months later, and Chris is worried about them talking about his truck. And Happy New Year, y'all. Yes, Krista, the hands video. Weirdest thing I've seen in a long time. And lurk away, Clar. Again, thank you for the shirt. I got it. I'm wearing it. I appreciate it. All right. He shouldn't even be talking about what happened. He was there that night. Or was he? Exactly. Why is he the spokesman when he wasn't there that night? All right.
As I pointed out in my last video, How to Detect a Lie, he's also somehow eliminated his wife, himself, and Seth Rogers as suspects. How could he possibly know that nothing in any of their pasts has anything to do with the disappearance? This conclusiveness, rather than curiosity, suggests he knows more than he's letting on. Finally, and most bizarrely, when the panel offered to dig up new facts for him, he wasn't grateful or excited about that. In fact, he got pretty defensive, it sounds like. Well, go ahead, call the police. You go and do that. In other words, he's not acting the way I would expect him to act if his story were true.
Well, Seth did this.
This is brand stinking new, y'all. This is hot off the press. DD is doing this premiere right now, Veronica. So no, this just came out today at 4 o'clock, and we're streaming at 4 o'clock because last episode of this, I didn't get a hold of it until the next day, and that was after all the creators ripped this apart. Every channel that said Sebastian on it had Deception Detective on there, and they just ripped it apart. So I wanted to be on there today and react to this with you guys before it gets out. Now, you guys, after we're done with this, if you go look at all the live streams and you see anything with Sebastian, you're probably going to see this on there again, and all of them are going to have something to say about it. But I wanted to get to it first. So this is brand spanking new if you just walked in. All right, let's keep going.
Katie said that. I did this and blah, blah, blah. Once again, it doesn't find Sebastian.
But who put that information out there for everybody to know? If it doesn't matter, why was it ever put out there in the first place?
Well, how many times have you asked us about something about Seth and we've never told you?
Rarely.
Same concept.
Rarely.
Nope.
I'm going to talk about
honestly,
that.
Listen, here's the thing. It's not about me wanting you to be bashed, Katie to be bashed, or Seth. I don't want any of the parents to be bashed. But I also, don't tell me what to do with my channel because I'm not doing any crap. I'm simply bringing up conversation, Chris. The same conversations that I've had with you personally. I'm not talking about anything that I haven't talked to you and Katie about. So to assume that I'm coming on here and
So Deception Detective doesn't go live that I know about. He's playing this video right now, and I told him that I was going to stream it on my channel while he's premiering it. So I've already gone over there and shown him love, and you guys are all going to do that too. We're reacting to it. If you want to watch it without the reaction, you go to his channel, like it. We get to 50,000, he plays it again. So no, I would never go live CJK when he's live, but he is doing a premiere. He films, puts it out, and that's what's happening. So if you want to go roll over to his channel and like it too, that would be great. If he was doing a live while I would be upset. I'd be like, DD, why aren't you having me up there with you? I haven't got him to do a live yet. This is the closest to a live that I got him to do. All right. We love you, DD.
Making shit up or pushing a narrative is bullshit. because I'm not, and you just said yourself, everything I've said, I've spoke to you about already. So to insinuate that I'm putting out some type of narrative that is you don't know about or you don't whatever, that's not the case. My questions have come up based on the conversations that we've had, right? And at the end of the day, I will stand on this again. And I won't go into it any further out of respect. I have been very careful about speaking on Sebastian at all and why there were decisions being made, because I think it is extremely important to protect a child, right? I also think that if the general public knew some of the things, they would understand why you and Katie and Seth were making the decisions you were making or attempting to make. Would you agree?
After I posted my last video, lots of other creators reacted to it and sent over a whole bunch of other new subscribers. So thank you and welcome. And since there are so many new people here, I just want to clarify that the point of my channel is not to solve this crime. It would be great if I could contribute and help make that happen.
And that's why I stream DD and I collaborate with Deception Detective from day one. When I found his channel, he said, I'm not a true crime person. I am a lawyer trained in not body analysis, statement analysis. I'm sorry, not behavior, but statement analysis. So we take the true crime and the timeline and the people and the pieces. We put that together and listen to him break down those interviews, and he nails it. I haven't disagreed with him ever. Now, I've seen the behavior panel before, and there's many times I disagree with the behavior panel, but his is always on point. So he's a lawyer trained in statement analysis. That's what he's saying.
But the main point of my channel is to teach my subscribers how to spot lies and manipulation. So when Truth Elevated says he's keeping certain details of his conversations with Chris private, that's his decision to make, and I'm not going to challenge him on it. Although obviously I'd be happy if he released everything he knows. So for now, we're just going to work with what we have here, and frankly, it's more than enough to develop the opinion that Chris has guilty knowledge.
I'm not going to sit here and go over that.
I respect that.
What I will agree with is simply this. Having a conversation is one thing. Having questions is one thing. But when your chat, which, I mean, no, you're not responsible for everybody. That's completely understandable.
What are you
But
talking
as
about,
one
Chris?
creator has even stated, sometimes the way you say something almost seems like you push something in a different direction.
I just
what
think it's
happened?
frustrating to certain people that I won't push their direction.
I don't have a direction other
I
than
didn't say
finding
you.
Sebastian and bringing him home.
Oh, he was
I didn't
he was
say you.
talking about
That's
him.
what I have a problem with.
Yeah, he was.
Why is everybody so worried about the bullshit? And that's literally what it is. Bullshit.
That's literally what you're doing right now,
Instead of
Chris.
actual finding Sebastian.
Well, to be fair, Chris, without all the information is kind of hard, right?
Right, but there's no new information. I wish there was. There's nothing.
He doesn't want there to be anything.
And because
That's
there's
for
nothing,
sure.
I think a lot of people are filling it with bullshit, right?
Can you imagine? Do you hear what he's saying? I can't wait to hear DD react to this. Do you hear what he's saying? Not only is he defensive, but he's like Jen Soto, where Jen Soto says, Maddie's not home. We don't know where she is. I talked to all her friends. She's not there. That's it. Case closed. We're done. I just want her home, whatever that means. He's basically saying, stop talking about it. Maybe they're getting closer to the truth. Now that there are no other leads, we're focusing on Chris and Katie again. That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. I can't wait for DD.
They're filling the void with the gossip and the bullshit and those.
Well, now a creator's involved. I mean, so yeah.
Well,
this is the shit
yeah.
that's going on.
I think when there's a divide, somebody's going to fill the gap with something, right?
Right.
And that's what we see day in and day out.
And I see a lot of comments, and I see a lot of comments about Katie, let Katie speak, and using the Texas Roadhouse video footage as an example, she was picked apart simply for looking for a waitress, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Like they picked that apart for weeks.
I'm glad she mentioned the Texas Roadhouse footage because it proves that everyone on this call, including Chris, was aware of it. I'll explain why that's important in a second. For those who don't know what it is, days before this interview, Dog the Bounty Hunter and his team released the last known footage of Sebastian alive, having dinner with his mom at the Texas Roadhouse Grill. So when Chris said just a moment ago that there was no news in the case, that wasn't accurate. And it raises the question, why would he not consider this news? And if he does consider it news, why would he downplay it and not mention it? And that's not the only inconsistency I heard here. Chris is always insisting that he wants help finding Sebastian. But anytime someone digs into the most obvious suspect, his wife Katie, that's bullshit, according to him. He also claimed he doesn't have a direction he's leaning in, but he criticized Truth for presenting a different one. You can't make that distinction unless you have a direction you're leaning towards. I have more to say about Chris's reaction to Dog the Bounty Hunter, but let's see if there's a more organic place for me to pause and point it out.
All right, and before we get going on that, no, I don't see that. There's nothing right now, Carrie. I saw your question. There's nothing with the green hoodie or the yellow hoodie. We don't see anything significant tied into it. I believe it was debunked, and I believe it was debunked a while ago. That nothing has anything to do with that. Now, we don't know for sure, but supposedly that there's nothing that's tied to that. Now, that Roadhouse footage shows a couple things. It shows that Sebastian was with Katie the last time anybody saw him on camera or saw him alive. We never saw him alive again. We haven't seen him come out of that house. The dogs didn't smell anything. The cadaver dogs didn't. So from the time he was at Roadhouse being filmed, what we did learn was that he was there with Katie, number one. Number two, he made it to the car. Number three, we got to see the way he moves, you guys. We got to see the way he acts, the way he moves. He ate just fine. To me, people were saying he's just a boy eating, but we didn't get to see him before on video, moving, doing anything. We got to see the way he moves, his stature, how big he was, what he looked like before he went missing, what he was wearing, etc. So those are the things that I take out of there. And I just saw 222. So say a prayer for Sebastian that this case does get solved. But no, nothing else was really significant except body language and putting him at the Roadhouse so people don't say, well, maybe he wasn't even there. All right. Yes, he was tall and he looked very sweet. That's what I gathered.
They picked that apart for weeks, or well, not weeks, but over a week. I kind of understand why she wouldn't. Anything she does, she rubs her leg and people think something. Like, I kind of understand where she's coming from there. It's a lot. People really tear her apart, you guys.
And see,
I
think
they should. And let me defend something real quick.
Thank you.
People tear all of us apart.
This guy, man, let's talk about Sebastian. And you know what? I didn't tear her apart, but I'm still going to say she was the last person to see Sebastian. I didn't tear her apart about that video. What I did say, and I just remembered, was that she was taking pictures of Sebastian at the table. Why didn't she use those pictures, you guys? I never saw those pictures on any of the missing photos. What picture I did see was Sebastian when he was younger and little. I didn't know what he looked like in his teenage years. So I was like, wow, she's taking pictures of him. Why didn't those make it to that flyer instead of the younger ones? And thank you so much, Foxy Amazon, for the Guilty of Crime membership. But as far as her not acting with him or interacting, whatever, maybe she was tired of him for that day, whatever. I don't know. Freaking Chris, man.
That's facts.
People are tearing people apart in these shows.
Mostly you, bud.
For no reason.
There's a reason
now
for
they're
you.
going after a pastor.
That is crazy.
Excuse me. Like, help me understand how going after a pastor is going to help find Sebastian. How is bashing Seth, Katie, myself, my parents, and God forbid anybody else involved? How is it finding Sebastian? People are people in this world. And guess what? There's not one soul that is perfect. We all have our imperfections.
Yep.
But that's what makes this world go round. Because if it was perfect, it would be very boring.
What are you talking about?
Would not want to communicate with each other because we're all perfect. But we're not. In return, look, have some compassion.
Listen, guys, what is he talking about? And thank you. Welcome, Avis. Thank you guys all for got a new membership, gifting a membership. Hit the like button if you have the means to donate, super chat, super sticker, any of the below. I also want to thank for yesterday's episode, those that sent me Cash Apps and Venmos. Thank you guys so much. I didn't get a chance to say it yesterday. This is a major deflection right now. This guy, what is he even talking about? He sounds almost like us at the beginning of the show when we were like, hey, let's gotta all get together and whatever. He's like, people are people. What are you coming out gay, Chris? What are you talking about right now? Did he just come out right now in front of us? Because that's what it sounded like to me. And I'm just being silly, but what are you talking about? Yeah, full of air and deflection. Yeah, he's a philosopher. Thank you, Jojo, so much for the Guilty of Crime membership. Sunshine, that's what I was thinking. I just don't understand why the pastor never covered this case. It's odd the pastor had a true crime channel. Well, many of these true crime channels are not even true crime, you guys. It's not covering true crime. It's just covering the drama behind it, and they're bashing creators. I'm glad I got you to laugh. I thought that was funny too. I think Chris just came out, you guys. All right. Catch up in the morning. Good night, Lou. Member for 3 months. Thank you so much. Deflection. Absolutely. All right. Let's keep going.
Learn to accept things. Like, there's answers that we all have want, and we just don't get.
Not yet, anyway.
Exactly.
It's pretty concerning that I feel the need to point this out again, but that's Chris Proudfoot speaking. He sounds so eager to move on from Sebastian, you could be forgiven for thinking that he's consoling the panel for their missing child. On your screen now is the leakage card from my deception deck, my 52 favorite rules for spotting lies and manipulation.
Yes.
And when Chris said that there are answers he can't give rather than questions that can't be answered, that may well have been an example of leakage. In fact, lying is so stressful and unreliable that most people who are trying to deceive you simply won't do it. And I actually think that's what's happening here with Chris. For example, he stopped short of saying that Katie's accusers are wrong or lying. In my last video, he simply said that people twist everything she does into the most negative light possible, which, to be fair, you can do with the truth. And now he's basically just pleading for everyone to play nice, regardless of what Katie may or may not have done. It's not a full-throated admission that he knows she did something wrong, but it's definitely not a full-throated denial either.
And we want nothing more than to have them. Sebastian to be home.
Hey.
That's what's
Do you want Sebastian home?
Yeah, but you got to understand when there's a missing child and they're, like you said, tearing people apart, when people feel there's inconsistencies in stories, and people are going to dissect that. That's what this sector does.
I know. And the sad part is because the whole story cannot come out.
Right.
New Year.
Because law enforcement doesn't want things out.
That's a bunch of BS, you guys.
There are people out there that want to.
When somebody says that when their child is missing and they say, what can I say or can I not say? Like Jen Soto, what can I say or can I not say? Like they're intertwined in the investigation. And the officers told them, all right, you're already cleared. We're not going to tell anybody. We're just telling you, but don't say this, this, and this. And don't tell people about the last time you saw him because we don't want that to get out. That's a bunch of malarkey, as I would like to call it. I'd like to call it something else, but that's a good word for that. She's just BSing us, you guys. Nobody says that. Officers don't say that. Yeah, Veronica, exactly. That it's nonsense. It's an excuse for you not wanting to tell the details because you're not telling the details. Katie's not telling the details. You guys just skipped over that whole night and then the next day, and then you popped into right when you wanted to talk about it.
Take one thing and twist it and shove it into a direction which they don't need it to be going, but they're doing it anyways. For what reasons? It ain't my business. But it sure in the world doesn't help find Sebastian. This community, true crime, and all these creators out there, they could do.
Thank you.
I think it do so much
amazing things.
Yes,
amazing.
Everybody can. And I've had this conversation with several people. They could do so much better. They really can.
What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that.
And instead of just going after each other, and I mean, I've even heard creators going after creators.
Oh, that's happened every day,
You know,
Chris.
for their own personal
Every
reasons.
day.
That's their choice. But when it comes to this community and finding these children, Sebastian,
Did we lose you?
I think you cut out.
I think we have.
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. But with all of these kids that are missing, all these creators can do so much.
Well, and a lot of
good.
us do, Chris.
I know, and that's why I'm not back.
And what he's trying to do now is turn things around and get these people on his side so that when they do look at footage, he can say, hey, you guys, I already talked to you. I thought we loved each other and we were doing so much better. Let's get together and get along so I can push the narrative that I want to push on you guys, and you guys will follow that narrative. That's what he's trying to do. He's absolutely trying to, classic narcissist. He could do so much better, but this is just a bunch of BS, you guys. Absolute manipulation he thinks he's doing. And Lulu, you must have won a membership. Thank you. Avis just gifted 5 memberships. I believe that was Avis. Yes, Avis. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what DD has to say.
Fashion.
No,
I'm
I mean,
just saying.
I know.
If everybody came together, God, it could be an unstoppable force.
I agree.
On your screen now is the ingratiation card from the deception deck. I'm
Yes,
showing it
thank
because I think that may be what's going on here. Or maybe it's duper delight, that little rush of endorphins that liars get when they think everyone's eating out of the palm of their hand. Either way, the shifting gears seems manipulative. Just a few minutes ago, Chris was all defensive and challenging. Now he's all charming and
I love
kumbaya.
it.
So while I can't say exactly what's going on here, I don't think it's a coincidence that Chris launched into this upbeat monologue just as soon as the conversation turned to the inconsistencies and gaps in his story. Let's see if the panel takes the bait, or can they stay objective and put this conversation back on track?
You know, we don't know you. I've never spoken to you ever.
I'm sorry. Who am I talking with?
That's body moving.
Body
Oh,
moving.
I'm so
Kumbaya.
sorry.
No, it's totally okay. It's totally okay. Like you don't know me. Like it's totally fine. It's hard, and people. I'm not doing this, but people do feel the void. They fill it with nonsense.
I know, and
Yeah.
it sucks.
And
It
and
sucks that
because
we can't
and
come out and
because
say certain things either.
no, I know. I can't
Kumbaya.
imagine. Like I really
And
can't.
I will say
He's
that
right.
that is a true statement that Chris just said. Once again, this isn't, I want to be very clear about my reasoning for this live tonight, okay? It wasn't to bash anybody. I'm absolutely glad, Chris, that you came up here and spoke, right? I'm not mad at you. I don't have any hostility towards you, okay?
No, I respect
absolutely.
it. I mean, for the record, we do respect each other. So
For sure. For sure we do. And we've always had that.
So I ask you, what is this stream with these people, 6 people up there streaming while Chris is talking and ingratiating himself, or Duper's delight? You guys, what did that stream accomplish? And what we're accomplishing here is to see how actions reveal lies and find out what happened to Sebastian. Now, I also am telling you it's been 10 months as of, I think, 2 days ago, and I'll play that clip. I'll finish playing that clip. We want to think about not creators getting along kumbaya, but not having creators go up there and fill 4 hours online just to put a Sebastian title and say they're talking about Sebastian, while in fact they're bashing creators that are absolutely just trying to get out real information, showing the TBI, talking about the reward, whatever's going to help. All right, so that's what's happening here, and I feel like it's a Duper's delight here. It's all about him. Anyway, what are those 6 people accomplishing? I ask you that. I don't know because I didn't watch 3 hours of it, but I do know one creator that's up there that I can tell you that I know for a fact does drama every day on this case and bashes myself and others for hours while they're collecting super chats, super stickers, and donations. So what is that accomplishing?
Yeah. Oh, and to be honest with you, the people in the chat are going to say and do what they're going to do. I think ultimately the issue,
and it's really sad.
It is, but ultimately the issue is that you say something that really gets under me sometimes, Chris, and that's that you say, well, it's our personal life. We don't want to talk about it, but y'all came to social media asking for social media's help. You know what I mean? And with that,
asking for help is one thing, but
Yeah,
being
but
torn
that's
apart is
different,
another.
bro.
Well, hold on. Let me
That's
finish.
different. They came to social media to ask for help looking for their son, not
to solve a case,
not CPS
Right.
reports.
That's-
And I mean, come on.
Pop quiz. What do Chris Proudfoot, Don Wells, John Ramsey, and Jerry McCann all have in common? They all publicly begged for help to find their missing kid. But when people started actually helping in ways they didn't anticipate, like investigating the obvious suspects and pulling CPS reports, instead of just wandering the fields in high-vis vests or donating money to their fund, they got cold feet. Elevated Truth said it best. If you ask social media for help, that's what you get. If you then try to control that help or stifle it, it goes right back to my point about contradictions. In other words, the implication is you're more interested in having the appearance of looking for answers than actually getting them. I've actually experienced this myself. I have over 100,000 subscribers. That's a pretty decent sized audience. And I've done 5 videos about Sebastian Rogers and invited Chris and Katie for an interview in every single one. Do you think I've heard back? And what about Dog the Bounty Hunter joining the case? Does Chris seem excited about that or eager to get involved or grateful? Not from what we've seen so far in this interview.
Last time I checked, there's not one show where we came onto a show or myself came onto a show and turned it into a bash session. I didn't do that. Not gonna do it. And quite frankly, I'm pretty confident when I say.
Yeah, I'm doing my best on the volume here, you guys. If I lower my volume, then it lowers his volume. I've got DD's volume all the way up, so I guess I can try to whisper, but my volume isn't going to match other people's volume. But I'll try to whisper a little bit more, okay? Because DD's is up to 600 and mine is down 50%. So sorry if the volume's not matching, you guys. All right, let's keep going.
This. It's team, let's find Sebastian. Let's bring him home. I don't care about the BS. I don't. But bringing our kid home is the most important thing to all 3 parents. Once again, all 3 of us.
Let me ask you this, Chris. Is there any way, and I understand if the answer is no, is there any way that there can be a work together between the parents anymore? Is that so far gone that it can't happen?
I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to cut that off. Because quite honestly, if that's what it takes to bring Sebastian home, then that's what we need to do.
Absolutely.
But
so why not?
I'm pretty sure there would have to be some sort of an agreement.
Agreed.
Between the 3 parents.
So,
all right. So you guys know that he's saying yes, but he's really saying no right now. And Gigi, I agree. He has no right to speak for Seth. He never has. What he's saying to all of us right now is yes, but he's really saying no. All 3 parents are going to have their own ideas. Now, he controls Katie. He controls the narrative. He might not control Katie. I think, like I said, Katie's the last person to see Sebastian alive, and Chris is the keeper of those secrets. But he also speaks for Katie, and you see how she can't look at the person that's interviewing her. He wants to control all of their narratives. And what he's saying is, if I can control Katie's narrative and I can control Seth's narrative and I can be the leader of them, then yes, we can absolutely work together. That's what he's telling you guys right now as he says that. So the answer is yes, but it's really no. And I can't wait to hear what DD says about this. He's lying.
So what can we do, or is there anything we can do as a community to help with that happening?
Yes, and it's not going to happen. And I respect the fact that you asked it. The bashing has to stop. Period.
So you think that if the bashing stops, both against you and Katie and against Seth, that there would be a
everyone.
Right. Well,
Everyone.
my point
Yep.
is, if that were to occur, are you saying that you would be willing to sit down with you, Katie, Seth, and talk things out?
We'd have it would be tough. Don't get me wrong.
It could be mediated, though. I mean,
I
right?
would say a
Like,
mediation could be
yeah,
involved.
I think that would be
But
really beneficial. I really do.
That's a
yeah,
beautiful statement. That is a beautiful fucking statement. And I hope there's some thought put into that.
I mean,
You know,
like I said, I told Seth the day at that school, when everybody thought I was going to do a nasty little argument, it never happened. It was a very calm, respected talk between us two.
And back to him again.
Do I think there's a way that things can change and work? Sure. But there has to be a lot of change to be done.
He's saying it again, you guys. He's saying yes, but no. He's saying yes to you guys, so you can perk up and hear, oh, Chris is saying yes, that we can all work together. But, and then he throws in but there's a no, because the change would have to be that Chris is in control entirely of the narrative. He's in control of what Seth says, how he says it, where he says it, whom he says it, who he works with. He's already in control of Katie's. And I told you, if Katie and Chris ever split up, Chris cheats on her or something like that happens, it's going to be a he said, she said. He's still saying the same thing. It all came back to after they said this will be great. Elevated, I can't even tell. Truths said, oh yeah, that's great. That would be effing amazing, you guys. And then he came back to yes, but. Now I do like this card from DD. It's in the Deception Detective, and I don't know. It's in the deck. I don't know if he's talked about this yet, but mockery. That's what Chris is doing right now. When faced with accusations, liars often try to discredit or intimidate their accusers, lacking factual evidence to defend themselves. In contrast, truthful individuals usually respond quickly with direct denials and provide concrete evidence to support their assertions. None of that has been done here, and Chris is just talking crap about everybody and telling them how they can do better. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Whoever just said that. Annette. All right, let's keep going.
I would agree with you on that. But I'm glad to hear that you're not closed off to that, because I think 10 months into this, I mean, what's been occurring isn't working. Would you agree?
Yeah, but you have to admit truth. Actions, like words. In my opinion, Chris has already proved that working with Seth was not off the table a long effing time ago. Seth is the one who reneged on that. Period.
Well, hold on. Here's my point.
I won't defend that. I'm sorry.
Right, but here's my point to what I'm saying, is that now it's being said on a platform that if y'all stop with the bashing, then they could possibly sit down and talk.
When Chris was given the chance to ask for anything, he didn't ask for leads. He didn't ask for prayers or donations or tips. He didn't ask for any kidnappers who might have Sebastian to please return him, or for Sebastian to come home on the off chance that he's watching this live stream right now. Instead, Chris's requests seem to be focused around moving on with his life. If he and Katie are going to ever have their happily ever after, they can't have Seth holding a grudge with them or social media people continuing to look into them. In other words, Chris's response here is even worse than this paraphrase that I put on X. He's basically saying, help me find my missing kid, but stop asking me questions, stop presenting theories, and for God's sake, stop looking.
My point to what I'm saying.
That was perfect, DD. Thank you for that. That's exactly what he's also saying while he's saying yes, but no. He's saying stop looking, stop asking questions, stop pointing the finger at us when you can clearly see that we're missing details. We're not asking for our son. We left the house right away. Katie can't look in the eye of anybody. And yes, I'll say that I'll take a lie detector test, but I really won't. Hey, Jamila, good to see you. Debbie Baker, you're amazing. Thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. I appreciate you and all of you that you are here today, listening to me, hanging with me, and DD. And we're going to go smash his channel after and tell him how much we love him. All right, and we still have more, so stay after this because I'm not done. And I am going to go to my page, show you some things in the community, and read the comment of the day, which was absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate you. My girl M, love you and happy new year. All right, let's keep going. See, that's why two people like Deception Detective and I, match made in heaven.
Is that now it's being said on a platform that if y'all stop with the bashing, then they could possibly sit down and talk. And if
So why do
you
we
care,
have to
hold
be
on, if
That-
you
that
care
is
about
stupid.
Right,
Sebastian,
fuck that. Seth is
That's
grown,
stupid.
bro.
To
That's
say
a
that
grown
all of
ass
YouTube
man.
needs to
Can I
stop bashing
finish?
for these three adults to put their egos aside and work, don't put that shit on us.
Well, hold on.
Do
Now,
what you have to do
Right,
with the
like,
fashion. Don't put it
can-
on us.
May
That's
I
true.
please say something real quick? So I hear what Granny is saying, and I've heard a lot of what the other creators and actually quite all the creators have said, done, whatever, and each other have put quite a bit of each other through, to be honest with you. You know,
That's a good question.
no, I would not say that the three of us working together should have anything to do with YouTube creators on their own channels doing their own thing.
Then why do
We
you keep coming?
don't have any grounds to control that. We are not parents of creators. Never going to be, not going to try to be one. That's not an option because
Did you see Dee Dee's face right there? He straight up looked at the camera directly. What is he talking about there? What did he just say? And I have a feeling Dee Dee's gonna say that. They did move, Wyatt. They did move. The house is still there as far as I know, but they put cameras on there and they packed up and went into the RV. I don't know what he just said, but he's also not Sebastian's parent. He's never acted like Sebastian's parent. He acts like a wicked step parent, in my opinion, like that typical, when you hear, oh, I have a step parent that your child doesn't really like. Very, very interesting. Thank you, Lulu. I appreciate you. Yeah, that face. I can't wait until what he says right now. I don't know what he just said, but maybe DD will tell us.
everybody's an adult and everybody was responsible for what they choose to do.
Right. And it's just not realistic. It's really what I was saying. Like, it's not
No,
realistic.
it's not. I
And
mean,
there
don't get
has
me
to
wrong.
be a realistic
The
goal.
stuff that has happened, court documents, which, I'm still so lost a lot on, but all of this stuff that's flying out there, like, okay, that for me, Katie and Seth, the only thing I can personally ask is if the bashing would just please stop. For Christ's sake,
Wait,
just stop.
the bashing on you? The
Stop
bashing
bringing
on who?
people into things that have nothing to do with anything. It just doesn't make any sense. But
Interesting.
with creators, they choose what they want to do. That's
Of course.
their shows. That's
They
for
wanna-
some of them, that's their livelihood.
Most of them, well, the good ones want to find Sebastian and they report on Sebastian when there's things to report on, when there's dates to say, hey, this child's here, this is what we need to do. Now, when you're saying that that's their livelihood, I guess maybe that is why we're getting so many people streaming for 4 hours just bashing other creators. But what Chris is asking here is for people to stop looking in at him and Katie and to stop bashing them. That's what he's really asking about, because that's where the investigation is focused. I haven't heard anybody else being a person of interest in this.
Unfortunately.
Well, I mean,
Exactly.
it is what it is.
I mean, unfortunately, is like, it's unfortunate that like a child being missing is part of how someone, and it's not just children, it's true crime within itself is very interesting. And there's a fine line, you know what I mean? There's a real fine line, and that's not the point of conversation. And let me say something, and without getting interrupted, please, by everybody. I am very aware that my point of view on this situation is not the popular one on quote this side, right? And y'all can have an issue with what I'm saying, but at the end of the day, I'm always going to try to make conversation happen, right? And conversation has to happen in order for people to talk, right? And so you don't have to like what I'm saying, You don't have to like my point of view. I really could give a shit less. But conversation is how you get things settled. When me and Chris have had an issue, what have we done? Chris, we've gotten on the phone and talked, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For example, Clue. When you and I have had an issue, what do? We get on the phone, we talk, right?
We fucking scream, but sure, if it's
All right.
talking to you.
Right.
You know what I don't like is a lot of these what is with all the cussing and like being so angry. Now I can see passion, and I've cussed in the past when I'm not happy with something, but what is it with their like trucker mouths about this? They're talking about a teenage boy that went missing, and if it is true crime, we'd like this true crime to be played throughout. I would love to get LA Film Scene Dog on the show, and I'd love to get bashed after that, because I know people are bashing Dog. They're bashing people that are out there trying to do good, and they're saying it's a money grab, etc. But that would be fantastic. Yes, Happy New Year to you guys. I'm not sure what timestamp we're in right now. Maybe one of the mods could tell. Yeah, constant nastiness. Thank you, Lulu. It's constant. It's trashy. And yeah, Chris Proudfoot was not there. He was very sensitive around that. Save your mouse. All right, let's keep going. DT must have something to say.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Plenty more bombshells in this interview, but I will have to fast forward. If you want a part 3, let's get this video to 50,000 views. For my Seth Rogers analysis, click the video on your screen now. Stay true.
All right, you guys, that was awesome. We got to do that while Deception Detective was premiering. So I already went over there. I commented. I love that. This was a part 2, you guys. So if you can, go back and watch if you didn't get a chance to see it. We're still going to keep going. I want to go back to that the ad that I put on the news. Oh wow, like you can see my green screen. It's like way off. Hold on a second. I guess it doesn't matter at this point. Okay. All right. I don't want to mess up the camera. 3-hour conversation. Thank you. It was a 3-hour conversation. And what did they talk about? And who are most of those people? Do you guys even know who those creators are? Do any of you? I don't know who those creators are at all. There's just so many of them that are just over there. It takes our intelligent mind to keep the replacement word. Yeah. And sometimes that happens, but they're just over there cussing and reminds me of the Don Wills on podcast. And Deception Detective called that out. He named off 4 people that are very similar to what's going on in this case. All right. Let me pull up what I was playing before. 10 months he's been missing. And some of you that just got here, let me just get this going again, because I want you guys to know where we are. And I'm going to go back and show you some of the things that have came out lately in the last 4 days, just in case you miss it. I keep trying to find real content, you guys. I keep trying to find what happened at the 10-month mark. Are they having some kind of vigil? I'm trying to find out real information, and it's so hard to find. It's crazy. All right, body, my bad. Okay, let's listen up here real quick, and then we're going to get into the other clips and talk about it a little more.
15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, who vanished without a trace from his home in Hendersonville 10 months ago. As Nick Barris tells us, his Amber Alert is still active. The case remains open. So many of you have continued to follow any developments in what has become one of the top stories of this past year.
Sebastian Rogers, a now 16-year-old with autism, vanished from his Hendersonville home in Sumner County sometime overnight on February 26th earlier this year. It was reported he left the house barefoot and with a flashlight. There was a massive search effort from ground and air in the first 8 days after the teen disappeared.
This is the system that we use to track all of our searchers.
Sumner County EMA Director Ken Widener spearheaded the search using crews on foot and drones. Divers searched ponds. Spelunkers were called in to check sinkholes.
The white dots are caved and they've all been searched.
Bloodhounds and cadaver dogs were used, but contrary to some reports,
none of them, my understanding.
Do you see what they're looking for at this point? The actual people that are out looking are not looking for a boy that is hidden somewhere, that's alive somewhere. They're not looking for that. And so as much as Chris says, "Oh, the police don't want you to know," there's certain things I can't say. I mean, it speaks volumes with what they're doing and how the investigation is going. Now, Deanna, it is funny. Even Grizzly True Crime, I haven't seen Grizzly cover that, and probably because she doesn't want to be in all the drama. Nancy and Vinny, they're not mentioning it anymore because it's just so wrapped up. There's so many people, it's so oversaturated, and it's just hours and hours. I mean, what do we really need to talk for 6 hours about that? And I like Wyatt that says that oh, this and sometimes out at night with the flashlight, but never barefoot. Right. I like what you talked about. One of the creators has another creator that they're bashing in their intro. That's not true crime, you guys. That's not real true crime. I'm going to read a statement a little bit, and she couldn't have said it better. All right, let's keep going.
We're actually on a trail that was following Sebastian.
Search efforts then continued for months. There was simply no trace of the teen found, no scent trail, no security video, nothing. It was as though Sebastian simply vanished.
I'm hoping he's still alive. You know, that's my main hope right now, is that he's not deceased. I mean, I keep praying that he's alive. I keep praying that somebody's going to see him, that somebody's going to call 911.
Seth Rogers shares custody of his son Sebastian, who was staying with his mother and stepfather the night he disappeared. His mother was the only one home when Sebastian went missing. Authorities say all three parents have fully cooperated.
Any evidence of foul play? We have not cleared anyone, but we...
Now, this is from 2 days ago. This is from 2 days ago. He just said he hasn't cleared anyone. So keep that in mind, you guys. They haven't cleared anyone. And actions speak louder than words. They have dogs out there looking. They're looking in places where somebody would no longer be alive after 10 months. And that's what we're saying, Jay Sage. I have no idea. But you know what's happening is it's keeping creators from covering Sebastian. It almost kept me from covering him. The first day I came back and covered Sebastian, I got ripped a new one. Somebody put out a video of me talking crap about my channel and how I present the Sebastian case. So yeah, and I heard another creator today say, I want to cover the Sebastian case, but I don't want to get mixed up and all that, and I don't want to be bashed. So we need to stay away from that, you guys. I have 331 people in here. If you guys can pledge to yourselves that you'll stay away from, if you pop on a channel and they're talking bad about other creators and cussing and not talking about Sebastian and where he is, how we can find him, what the reward is, go watch something else, please. All right, let's keep going. I've got a few more things to show you.
We have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
I did ask Sheriff Eric Craddock about exclusive home security video we obtained from the neighborhood the night Sebastian disappeared. You can see two suspicious light sources circled here in an area behind the teen's home.
No evidentiary value? It is of no evidentiary value.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No.
Why?
Because the investigation remains ongoing.
And so it could play a role down the road depending on developments?
We don't know what we don't know. So yes, it could play a role.
The sheriff concedes there are parts of the investigation that cannot be shared with the public. To date, authorities have investigated hundreds of tips, but they have produced no confirmed sightings and no solid leads. As a result, social media has taken hold of the case with wild speculation from less than credible sources.
The rumor mill on social media has done nothing.
Again, this was just yesterday that I put this out. So this is where we are 10 months later. Now, Linda Timmons, you say, in my opinion, true crime is 100% discussion of the case. Perhaps they need to go back to square one and retrace everything from the night he disappeared. And I agree with you. The next clip that we play, we're going to go back and look at that night. And it's a new clip. We're going to go back that night because there's a small time frame, you guys. Sebastian got home from the Roadhouse. Katie heard a thud. She woke up the next day and Sebastian was gone. There it is. I just gave it to you right there. I don't have any more details because Katie's the one that's telling that tale. She's the last person to see Sebastian alive that we know about. Okay? So there you go. That was a great comment. All right, let's keep going. Social media is what the news is talking about.
to advance this case.
But even now, nearly a year later, no one is giving up on Sebastian. The case remains open and authorities continue to track down leads. Everyone hopes for a break that leads to Sebastian, a break that perhaps leads him to safely someday return to his family.
He needs to call 911. And if somebody has him, you need to give him back. He's my son. And he doesn't belong to nobody, but damn it, he's mine. And he's mine.
Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
All right. And, you know, I would like to know, you guys, I would like to know what Dog has to say about, if you guys know, I haven't been watching every little tiny bit of what he's saying, but I have heard Dog saying that he feels like Sebastian's still alive and he wants to bring him home. Now, I saw that 3 months ago, him saying that. Is Dog still saying that to this day, that Sebastian is alive and he's going to bring him home? Let me know if you think that. Now, I see people also in chat, and I'm going to tell you what I've thought from the very beginning. I don't think he's alive, you guys. And I think that we're now looking for a body. I thought we were looking for a body 4 months ago, and I hate to say that. So, I mean, again, it's just in my opinion. I'd love to know, and maybe Dog has other resources that I'm sure he has other resources because he's out looking for him, right? But Bernice, if you're asking me a direct question, or anybody wants to ask me a direct question, in my opinion, he's not alive anymore. And this is just going by statistics of when a child disappears and they're gone that long, and you got cadaver dogs out looking for the kid, and not only just cadaver dogs, but you also have people diving, looking in the water in lakes or whatever ponds. What does that say to you more than anything? Thank you. Wait. Okay. I appreciate you. My internet, I don't know what's up with this lately. All right, let me stop this. I just want to, everything's jumping. Okay. All right. So if you guys think that, I want to know what you guys think, because a lot of people could say, Jay, I think somebody kidnapped him. I think Carrie thinks that. Carrie, if you're out there, let me know. I think Carrie says she thinks that he's somewhere hiding away. You say Tony Mathis is Tony. Okay. Sebastian is adorable. And I love that picture, but it's a young picture. Okay. What's up, Artemis Prime? How you doing? How does something like this happen? Poof, no kid. Yeah, children don't disappear, but I'd like to know, you guys, if you think that he's alive. If you think he's alive, can you guys put a 1 in chat? If you think we're looking for a body, put 2. 1 if you think we're going to bring him home alive. 2 if you think we're looking for a body. That would be awesome. I do want to know what you guys think. And Heidi, what's up? Happy New Year. Okay. A lot of you think that he's okay. 2 if you don't. Most of you, it's like a 50-50, y'all. It's like a 50-50. And we'll say a prayer on the 222 for Sebastian that we can bring him home. Just bring him home. I don't think that he's alive any longer. But that would be awesome if he was. And I would absolutely eat my words. If they find him, I'd say, hey, sorry, but I didn't think he was alive. That's so fantastic. Me too. CJK, me too. I'm gonna have to dig into that because I don't know what they're doing, and I'm very curious. All right. Yeah, Opal says Dog does have a whole investigation team, but I want to know different stuff of footage. Okay, I'm gonna take a look into that. Let's play this real quick. This is TBI clears this up. But who saw Sebastian on the 26th of February? We're just going to listen to this real quick. This came out 3 days ago.
Since day one, following the case of missing Sebastian Rogers from Hendersonville, Tennessee, since day one. Like many of you, I've watched every interview his mother, stepfather, and biological father did, read every news article, and kept up to date on the case. Sadly, Sebastian is still missing, and this case is dragging on for months on end. Let's go back to day one, On the 25th February, Katie and Sebastian returned home from the Roadhouse. Around 9 that night, Sebastian completed his usual nighttime chores and then went to bed after his mother told him to do so. About an hour later,
All right, so this is starting. Somebody said earlier, yeah, I love Evil Exists too, you guys. Evil Exists, in case you don't know, I always play Evil Exists on my channel because it's a tidbit of information, but it's always up to date information. So, but this is new, but it's just retracing exactly what happened that night. And Robin, I'd like people to drop in chat where they think that, where they think he would be, because I'm very curious. And Happy New Year's to everybody. You say rumors a grand jury is being set up for January. Interesting. All right, so let's start back and see what Katie knows, and we're just gonna play this real quick again. So we say Sebastian was at the Roadhouse. He went home. There was a thud, and then the next day, that's what happened.
news article,
All right.
and kept up to date on the case. Sadly, Sebastian is still missing, and this case is dragging on for months on end. Let's go back to day 1. On the 25th February, Katie and Sebastian returned home from the Roadhouse. Around 9 that night, Sebastian completed his usual nighttime chores and then went to bed after his mother told him to do so. About an hour later, Katie heard a thud coming from Sebastian's room. Instead of going in to check on her son, she called out, saying that she doesn't care what he is doing in there, but he must go to sleep. According to Katie, Sebastian replied, and that was the last time she heard from him. That would have been somewhere between 10 and 11 on the night of the 25th February. At 6 o'clock on Monday morning, Katie went to wake him up for school, and he wasn't in his room. Sebastian was reported missing to police on the 26th.
Okay, so that was it. There's only a couple little details in there, and that was it. They got home from the Roadhouse. He did his chores. She heard a thump at like 10:30, 11. He went to bed. 6 a.m. She went to wake him up, and he was gone, right? And she didn't call 911, did she? Didn't she call Chris, and Chris called 911? And I'm sorry if I'm skipping. Now, Leanne Wilson, the grand jury is for an indictment. The grand jury comes together so they can indict somebody and put a case together for a trial. Where was his stepfather? Well, we've been having a debate about that. Where was Chris? He was supposed to be 3 hours away. All right, let's keep it. There is a video of the Roadhouse, but we're talking about just those little bits of time frame where Katie heard a thud and then he was gone the next day. There's no detail in all of those hours.
6th February. Based on this information, it would be easy to assume that Sebastian was last seen on the 25th February. However, when TBI was asked about this, they had something else to say. Someone messaged them asking whether Sebastian was last seen on the 26th or the 25th of February, because many are trying to find out the true facts and not listen to gossip. TBI replied to this, saying that Sebastian Rogers was last seen on the 26th of February. How is this possible, though? Makes me question what other information they have that we don't. Wouldn't it have been on the 25th, when his mother put him to bed? Where was he seen on the 26th? I would think that Sebastian was last seen on the night of the 25th, and vanished sometime during that night. It's very interesting that they say he was seen on the 26th. Who was he seen by?
That was a good question, you guys. They keep saying the 26th, but who was he seen by on the 26th? Wouldn't the last time technically be the 25th when we saw the Roadhouse video and then Katie put him to bed and saw him before he went to bed? All right, let me, my internet has been terrible. I don't know why it's been like this lately. All right, I'm going to play another clip. This one I'll actually read to you when we get to it, so you don't have to hear the robot voice. But Evil Exists is fantastic, you guys. If you don't mind the AI voice, go over there and sign up for them and listen to their clips. Come on. Sorry about the internet, you guys. I can see that it's very, very choppy. Come on. All right. Oh, and what is this? All right, this is interesting. What is the hit and run that people are talking about? I didn't even know about this, and I'm only going to spend two and a half minutes on it once I can get the internet going. I don't know why it's not working, you guys. All right, hold on. It's going very slow, so be patient. I'm not patient. All right, let's get this back. Proudfoot's called out by at night for vacations. That's not it. Is that it? Hold on. December 27th. Oh, I guess it is. Okay, hold on. I got one more clip here. If I can get it. I don't think this is it. Okay, this is it. All right, sorry guys. Am I choppy right now? Boop, boop, boop. You see that little thing?
Case. There is a lot of drama, misinformation, speculation.
I'm trying to pause it. It's just all right. It's all the way up, you guys. All right, I guess I'm gonna play it because I'm having
And straight
trouble.
up.
It's spinning. You guys can hear me, but it's being
Lies,
choppy
too.
on my side. Okay. It's spinning and spinning, you guys. I'm trying to read your comments while I'm waiting for this, but strange rumor. Yeah, it's buffering, which is on the side of YouTube. I can't do anything.
Many were upset with Chris and Katie Proudfoot's lack of search efforts. They also stopped speaking and pleading publicly in the media.
Chop, chop. Chop, chop, chop. All right. Yeah, I don't get some of the rumors. Yeah, not today, Satan. Not today.
For Sebastian's safe return.
Yes. Yeah, we want Sebastian's safe return, but YouTube wants to buffer. All right. This is like a 2.5-minute clip. Let's see if we can get through it. I'm still looking at your comments. I hope you guys hit the like button. If you're leaving, hit the like button on the way out. And if you could share the content with your community, that would be awesome.
It's been a while since we heard anything from Katie regarding her missing son. So jaws dropped when Chris Proudfoot was seen.
How come I can't get a 2-minute clip to play right now? Yeah, sorry guys. I'll hit play and then I'll take a look at what you guys got going on there. So it says Dog the Bounty Hunter searches for missing autistic teen with 107.
This past week, searching the woods.
Searching the woods, and it's just chopping. All right, if we are searching the woods, you guys, Sebastian is no longer alive. How would he be living in the woods? I want to know if you don't.
For Sebastian. People are saying better late than never.
Yeah, YouTube is acting up. Let's see if I start it over. I don't know if starting it over is going to help you guys, but I'm going to try. I downloaded it before I played and it's still buffering. So if it's YouTube, there's nothing I can do about it. Let's see. I can see Katie's face real big. Thank you, Annette232. You're being sweet. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I want to know what...
There is a lot of drama, misinformation, speculation, and straight-up lies, too. Many were upset with Chris and Katie Proudfoot's lack of search efforts. They also stopped speaking and pleading publicly in the media for Sebastian's safe return. It's been a while since we heard anything from Katie regarding her missing son. So jaws dropped when Chris Proudfoot was seen this past week, searching the woods for Sebastian. People are saying better late than never, while others say it's never too late to search. At night, private intelligence had something to say about these latest search efforts. They strongly believe that Sebastian is alive, but no longer in Tennessee. They put out this post, which reads, In a disturbing turn of events, Christopher and Katie Proudfoot, Sebastian's stepfather and mother, have recently conducted local searches, treating Sebastian as though he were hit by a car and abandoned, despite zero evidence pointing to such a tragedy. If the Proudfoots have information that supports this bleak outlook, it raises serious questions about whether they are deliberately withholding crucial details. Notably, they have refused genuine assistance from At-Night while conducting a search in a wooded area that has already been thoroughly searched by thousands of law enforcement officers, a move that At-Night believes is a disingenuous distraction that undermines credible leads suggesting Sebastian is alive. According to At-Night's investigators, there is no basis for a local hit-and-run scenario, nor have the Proudfoots
exhibited meaningful urgency. I want to keep this up for a minute while we talk about it. You guys, what do you think about that? Because that's an interesting statement right there. Chris and Katie are treating it as if something happened to Sebastian, right? As if it was a hit and run, if he went out to the woods and couldn't find his way back, or he went out to the woods and somebody took him and took his life and buried him, or he went out to the woods and they took him and they put him in the water after they took his life. That's how they seem to be acting. That's the narrative. Because wouldn't they be out looking for Sebastian, doing searches with them? It's like almost like he's missing, he's gone, something happened, he didn't have his shoes, he couldn't have survived, but they're not telling the public that. And then you look at the other narrative, Seth. Yeah, you look at Seth, and Seth is saying every time I see Seth, he says, I in my heart, I feel like Sebastian's alive. I'm still looking for him. There's a reward. I've got this Tony guy and these other people, Dog. And as far as I'm concerned, Dog says that he thinks he's still alive. But yeah, there's absolutely zero evidence of a hit and run. But you've got two sets of parents, three people, Chris, Katie, and then Seth, right? And the narrative on one hand, while they're out doing dives and looking with cadaver dogs, is that he's no longer alive. And then the complete opposite side of the spectrum is they took him out of Tennessee, he got trafficked, or they put him in some home for children that are autistic because they didn't want to take care of him anymore and he was a burden. And yes, I ask you, Bernice Jones says, where is he? How do you have all just theories, Jay? Absolutely, they're all just theories. But the reason I'm talking about this is because when I look at this, and I'll read it real quick. When I look at this, it says, in a disturbing turn of events, Chris and Katie Proudfoot, Sebastian's stepfather and mother, have recently conducted local searches, treating Sebastian as though he were hit by a car and abandoned, despite zero evidence pointing to such a tragedy. If the Proudfoots had information that supports this bleak outlook, it raises serious questions about whether they are deliberately withholding crucial details. Notably, they have refused genuine assistance from At-Night while conducting a search in a wooded area that has already been thoroughly searched by thousands of law enforcement officers, a move that At-Night believes is disingenuous distraction that undermines credible leads suggesting Sebastian's alive. According to At-Night's investigators, there's no basis for a hit and run, nor have the Proudfoots exhibited meaningful urgency since Sebastian's vanished. I agree. Who does that? Who has common actions? Who has common actions? The parents that know their child's already dead, like Jen Soto, like the Wells, like how many other parents can we blame? Or can we say that about? Let's say Ashton went home that night, went and laid down. Katie went in there to tell him to do your chores and clean your room before you go to bed. And Sebastian got mad at her or said something, and she said, "No, you don't talk back to me." Thud. Something accidentally happened. Okay, doesn't mean this had to happen at all. But if you don't have a sense of urgency, it's maybe because you know something already happened to him and he's not coming back. So when you read that on the screen, it says that they treated it as it was a hit and run. How did he have a hit and run if he was in the house and he left the house with no shoes? So take out the hit and run and put in Katie saw him last. Katie's responsible for him. Katie holds the key. What does Katie know? What does Katie know, and why is it such a finality on her part? Why is it so final on her and Chris's part that they don't want to talk about it? They don't want to search. They're not saying they don't want to search, but they're doing trickery of the words, you guys. Just like we saw Chris try to trick us all when he was on that live stream. He said yes, but he was really saying no. That's what they're doing. They're saying yes, but they're really saying no. When you see them, and there was a vigil, and Seth's over there at the vigil crying, and other people are Sebastian Strong, and they're sitting on a Harley looking at what Harley they should buy. And then you see them on an interview on Nancy Grace's show, and they're in a RV moving away, not searching, not taking polygraph tests like they say they will. Why are they so confident in doing that? And yes, LA film scene, I say that too. The thump is a key. And I wonder if investigators are thinking the same thing too. I wonder if they're doing what they did with Jen Soto and saying, well, there are certain things we don't want to say to the public, but really they're looking at them. I mean, if there is a grand jury putting an indictment together, you guys, that means they have a suspect in this case. And Happy New Year, glitter is forever. Welcome. Yes, I say that all the time. Actions speak louder than words. Kim, I was wondering the same thing, like a hit and run. Yeah, where'd that come from? Where'd that come from? Wyatt says, my mom comes and pokes her head in our bedroom a couple times before she and my dad go to bed. Right. Well, I do that too. I poke my head. I do it in the morning, make sure when I don't hear anything, make sure everything's going on, what's going on. Now, I just looked up the Ramseys yesterday. We did the Ramsey case. So I'm going to go back and do it tomorrow. Now, John, and was it Patty or Patsy Ramsey had an indictment. They went to the grand jury, and I read the indictment that they tried to indict I read the what is that called? Someone asked me to read it. I have so many emails now. I read the wording in the indictment, and they were trying to charge the family with neglect and accessory to, in other words, they were saying that, let's say the mom neglected John Bonet, and then because they were in the house, whoever took her life, like maybe it was the brother, they were accessory to try to help clean it up. So that's very interesting, and I'm wondering if the police are looking at them at all. BC Primetime, thank you so much. No shoes equals not needing shoes anymore. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. I appreciate you. Katie's getting out the snacks. All right. Yeah, Patsy did pass away now, but the indictment that they brought out to the family was back in 2013, and it never got signed off on the district attorney, is the only reason why there is never a trial that happened. But if you look at the indictment and the wording of the indictment, it's very interesting on how they're blaming the Ramseys. Yeah, the only one that's alive is John. We were on top of that. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about, a weak indictment. Exactly. A weak indictment because no DNA, because the kid's not talking. He was sleeping that night, right? Now I'm talking about John Bonet, but hear me out here. What I'm saying is, what are they doing? The officers, what's TBI doing? What's the Tennessee Bureau doing? All right, don't forget about the 5 CPS reports. I never forget about that, but you know who does forget about that and wants it to be forgotten about? Chris and Katie, you guys. Katie strikes me as a fiddle faddle. You guys are so funny. And don't forget, you guys are still here. There's 365 people in chat. If you guys do me a favor, hit the like button. Get a membership if you haven't gotten one. And I do thank everybody that's donated today. Annette, I don't know if I saw yours, but I think I did. Thank you. And then DC, I saw yours. And thank you. My chat or my internet's being weird. I might have to get a new computer or wipe my one. I don't know what's wrong with it. All right. Is anybody else having trouble with YouTube today? Because I'm hoping that it's everybody and I don't need a new computer. All right. They were all pretty much against Chris, right? Who's against Chris? Explain. All right, I'm gonna keep playing that. Yeah, smash the like button. I got another clip for you, and I appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for 260. Butterfly Girl says, I love your channel and your chat is wonderful, and so are your mods. Well, thank you, mods. You hear that? You guys are wonderful people. Now, AC, I'm not saying the Ramseys had anything to do with the case. What I'm saying, we'll watch it tomorrow. What I'm saying is the indictment against them is it's crazy the wording that they had. Now, you say the Ramseys had nothing to do with it. Do you mean all Ramseys or the parents? That's a question for you. We're going to get into that tomorrow. I got a good episode tomorrow for you guys on part 2 of John Benet Ramsey. Avis, thank you so much for gifting the 10 Guilty of Crime memberships. I love you guys. Isn't that funny that we've been here for 10 months, maybe 11 months, and it's just I have this whole crew that you guys every day want to be here and learn about this stuff with me. So thank you. I appreciate it. All right, let's see if I can get this to play.
Exhibited meaningful urgency since Sebastian vanished. Seth Rogers has been missing in action these past couple of days too, with some saying that he has put his house up for rent and left the state. Seth is allegedly back at work. At Night added that throughout the months following Sebastian's disappearance, Christopher and Katie Proudfoot have traveled extensively for non-search purposes. Financial statements, travel itineraries, and multiple eyewitness accounts suggest they embarked on vacations, made large or interesting transactions, and consistently cut ties with personal contacts who questioned their behavior.
It's spinning. You spin me right round, baby, like a record right now. All right. What is this? This is the one I was trying to play. Hold on. Was this the one I just played? Did you guys hear about the okay, that they did say hit and run. That was it. Okay. All right, I got one more thing for you. And we're still going, but you guys tell me, is it my internet or are you guys having trouble? Thank you so much, Avis. I can't afford much more than chat. Oh no, yeah. All right. I don't want you to afford more than you can. Hold on. What? Hold on. What's the obsession just popped up about the Idaho 4, you guys? That's funny. I'm gonna cover that eventually. All right, 10 months since the disappearance. I'm not even gonna play that. Okay. All right. Let me get into your guys' questions. All right, man. We were here for an hour and a half. And let's see. Is everybody having thank you, Bernice. I appreciate it. My internet is working okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to reset mine and see because yesterday I had yesterday my green screen didn't work, and then now today I'm wondering if it's the computer. Bellis, I love being able to see you guys. Look at that. Look at that dog. How cute. All right. All right. What do you guys think? And who moves from the residence or child? That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering. I want to know what they know. What's up, Nikki? How you doing? Okay. Internet's all okay. All right. All right. I mean, it's probably mine. You're welcome, AC, for that. Who moves from the residence, you guys? And I mean, where are we, right? Where are we in this case other than Sebastian's been missing for 10 months? That was 6 days ago that they did that. And I think other than that, I mean, there's, unless you guys have something, I truly think that in 2025, we're going to get more information about it. Somebody emailed me. Okay, a post from Dog. Oh, yes, that's what I wanted to look at. Okay, I wasn't done yet. Thank you. Thank you, Bree. I forgot. I still wanted to show you we're going to do the posts and we're also going to take a look at my page because I have one of you guys that I'm going to read your comment of the day. All right, let's take a look at this. This is what I wanted to show you and you guys choo on that. Okay. So this is the at night one. This is what I posted on my page and I wanted to talk to you about. Okay. Them leaving is my proof Sebastian is alive. Interesting. I want him to be alive more than anything. You guys, I always want these cases to be solved. When we were working with Papa Paul, right? Paul Demolo, sorry. I wanted Lauren to be found. Of course, we wanted her to be alive more than anything. And we want Sebastian to be, but let's look at this, all right? I don't not want him to. All right. Yeah, choo choo. I love you guys. All right, let's go over this real quick. Let me make this smaller so you guys can see this. I'm going to take this down. I want you to see this. It's important. All right. Dwayne Chapman. This is 1 hour ago. I think when was this, Bree? You can let them know in chat. It says an hour ago, but I think I put this up yesterday. Dwayne says the fight for answers about little Sebastian's disappearance is now moving from Tennessee to Pennsylvania. A $250,000 reward is up. It's being offered. So 833 tell dog. I guess that's Dog the Bounty Hunter's number to reach out if you have anything. And then he says Sebastian at manhunts.one. Email Aloha. He's the Aloha guy. All right, now take a look here. I do like that they added this picture in there, but I wonder why they didn't add the picture of Katie taking a picture of Sebastian. Where is that picture? That bothers me about the footage. All right, so there's Sebastian there. That I don't know if that's how recent. That looks like he is a lot younger there. I can't tell. And then this one as well. So they up the reward. What does it say here? A reward surveillance footage, Sebastian from February 25th, reward 250,000. And then we're gonna look at this because this is from the law offices of Joseph Lesniak, and this is about the harassment of Seth's father, of Sebastian and Dog and Nick. And this makes sense, you guys. The reason that I think this makes sense is because I'm seeing so many people do their live streams and go for 4 to 6 hours just harassing all these people. What Jamila say? Jamila is amazing, but I missed out what she said. All right, yeah, the reward. $250,000. So they think he's alive. All right. They do think he's alive, and we all would want him to be. But I think many of you are like, Sandra, thank you for becoming a new member. I missed you, but I see you now. All right. Let me read that, and then I'll jump to my page and read the comment of the day. All right. Thank you, Bree, for sending that over. I totally forgot. All right. So if harassment's directed at Seth, Father Sebastian, his spokesperson, Tony, at Dog, at Nick the Hat, and others involved in the search for Sebastian Rogers, if it doesn't cease, the next action will be to be a further letter, but the initiation of an injunction. Persistent harassment of these individuals could very well lead to criminal charges. Please proceed with caution in your streams and discussions. And then it comes from the law office of Joseph Lesniak. And then for immediate release, there it is, legal action, etc. And it goes, here's the missing teen. Okay, so you guys saw that, what's happening there. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I think it's important that they do that because these people are these creators are bashing everybody, you guys. I mean, it even got, like I said, it even got to me, and that was ridiculous that they would make a video and throw me in there and say, I can't believe she's saying Katie holds Katie knows something and holds the key, and Chris is the keeper of secrets. What's up? From Australia. Dog looks busted. Isn't he retired? A lot of people are talking about him. He does, but he's not retired. Yeah, there are a lot of bullies, but they're detracting from the case. I'm going to pull this down so I can go to my page real quick. I want to show you the post that I did on it. And if I can get to it ever, my internet's been just because the one lady that said this, I was like, wow, I guess they do get it. They do get it. And I hope you guys, maybe you don't want to say anything if you're watching on those channels to them because they'll just bully you right out of chat. But hey, if you don't care about what they're saying to you, by all means, tell them, look for Sebastian and stop bashing people. All right, let me get to my community page. Let me get you guys on here. I'm going to share that. All right, there it is. All right, there it is. Make sure it's up. Thank you guys. I noticed some people left. If you guys are heading out of chat, please hit the like button on your way out and then share. Is dog 70? Interesting. All right. Yo, remember, allegedly doesn't keep you from a lawsuit. Allegedly. Right. Agreed. Agreed. And we want to do this. This is what we want to do. We don't want to do what people are doing because they're getting a lawyer to talk. Why are they getting a lawyer to even take the time to do that for creators that are bashing? We should be focusing on Sebastian. So I'm gonna look here real quick. Oh yeah, okay. So here it is, missing teen Sebastian, and I ask, let's see if you guys can see that. I ask, can we all come together and continue the search for Sebastian? Stop blasting other creators for playing a part in the search. I keep seeing streams that with the title Sebastian, and when I stop to listen to them in hopes that any relevant information or even new theories will come out, it's not. It's all about dumping on creators. And then I say, why? This is not true crime. These are witch hunts. I even ran across a creator bashing me about a case while they're streaming and bashing instead of looking for real evidence. Please support true crime creators that are looking for results, not insults. Hashtag Sebastian Strong. So I posted this down there, and then I wanted to show you a comment. All right, come on. Let me show you a comment from, I think it's Mary. And I love when you guys comment on there. You're helping spread the word. I see Krista. Thank you. Amen. Jennifer. Amen. Crime and Crafts. Everybody's in support of that. Now, Mary Rogers. I'm gonna read hers because I love her comment. So if you guys are here, popularity has its downfalls. Yeah, it does. But we're looking for Sebastian. We're trying to find him, not bash each other. All right. So if you guys see that and you run across it, don't even pay attention. It is insane. It's more expensive than it is San Jose or Silicon Valley. Katie pleads the fifth. What mother of a missing child needs a fifth? I'll keep that up there. All right, let me read Mary's comment. Mary, if you come back and do the rewatch crew, shout out to you for your comment. Her name is Mary Rogers 7898. She says that the true crime creators that are involved in all the drama need to stop representing true crime. It's not fair towards the families of all the BS that's getting spewed out each day over and over and over. They need to grow the hell up and think about the missing child who's important in all this. They help it to keep it going by mentioning it day by day for hours at a time, and their chats are full of hate. It needs to stop. I won't waste my time listening to creators bashing other creators for hours on end being backed up by chat. Salute to you, Mary Rogers. Yeah, love it. Love it, Mary. If you're in chat, we'd love you for that comment. Mary Rogers is so right. And I hope she comes back and watches this and sees all the love that we're sending to her. Foxy Amazon says, I would need a fifth of hard liquor. That is so funny. And yes, we love you, Mary. You're awesome. I don't know where you are, but those are the kind of things that people are looking at that are really into true crime. Like, let's say, what is that? America's Most Wanted. Do you remember when America's Most Wanted was there to help find the criminals that skipped the country or skipped to different states? They were there to find the criminals, not to talk about it and hate on people. I didn't know that she plead the fifth. Where did she plead the fifth? Was it an interview that she did with the officers? Yes, Mic Drop Mary. We're gonna call her that. All right. Always asking, what do you have the opinion? They usually answer me, and they're very nice. And I appreciate that. If they're nice to you, Sandra, good for you. I'm so glad that they're being amazing to you, but not to me. Now, what legal entity has confirmed that Katie Proudfoot has and has not done? That's a good question. I want to know. Is she related to Sebastian? No, I don't think so. She's just a lady that came on here and yeah, she just came on here and said something nice. All right. She was taken in for questioning. Okay. I'm going to have to look into that. Oh, back in the day. Okay. Back in the day when Katie was taken in for questioning, she pled the fifth. That doesn't make any sense, you guys. That doesn't make any sense. And I think if you were to go back at the very beginning of this, I plead the fifth, right? And Patty Ellen says, Happy New Year, Petty Mason. Hey, Graciela, good to see you. Good to see you, my girl. Happy New Year, love and peace to everyone. I agree. All right. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but that's a good question. No, Leanne, I'm not skipping you on purpose. Are you talking to me, Leanne? No. Do you have a question? There's 338 people in chat, girlfriend, and I can't see all the questions. They're flying by, and I'm reading, and my internet's like doot, 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 doot. It's all choppy. So put that comment again, Leanne, and I'll put it up. I have no idea. What's your comment, girlfriend? All right. Anyway, if you throw that out at me again, I'll put it up there. I just don't know what you're saying right now. You guys are funny. Yeah. Happy New Year. Debbie says a different kind of pain. I thought I was going to die. We had no idea that she had blockages to her heart. Yes, at times we would say she could not swim across the pool like before. Okay, I missed some. See, I missed some things, and then things come out and I can't see them. So I did not see you. Is there any information about Sebastian's habits or what he does day to day? Now, we've seen a lot of interviews, LA film scene, and that's why that particular video at Roadhouse, for me, was the closest thing that showed me Sebastian's movements, Sebastian, how he ate, what he looked like, how tall he was. I don't know. I mean, what Katie Proudfoot says is that he's a messy kid. He had chocolate on his face. He gets stuff on his clothes. He could be aggressive a little bit. That's what I got out of it. So I wish I did know. And Leanne, I didn't see your question. Again, it's way at now you're at the bottom. It went up top. So I don't see it. All right, Flossie, when someone is suspected of a crime, they plead the fifth, meaning they refuse to say anything that may implicate them. Hey, at least Jen Soto talked to the police, even though it was with a lawyer, right? Lunchtime. Oh, well, today's New Year, Graciela. I know you're in Australia, so happy January 2nd to you. Yeah, exactly, Abellis. That's what I was saying. So what if he's messy? So what if he's a little bit messy, has chocolate on his face or something on his shirt or whatever? We didn't get to hear a lot about it. All right, and I put that up there already. You say 175. Well, we just showed one out there that boosts it to 250. So I think you're a little behind. Synth, you say 175. It's 250,000, you guys. Synth, you can grab that from my community page. They've upped it. I love the hockey body thing. Ohio just beat Oregon on the Rose Bowl. How could a mother unalive her child or choose a man before her child? Well, Sandra, now we're talking about Jen Soto again, and maybe Katie Proudfoot, right? Chris wasn't supposed to be there. Chris was not supposed to be there, so Katie and Jen both talked down about their exactly. And Kalista, if you were to look at all the other interviews like that Deception Detective does, he will put out 5 other moms that we now know are highly suspicious or have been accused of or prosecuted for a crime that act exactly like those 2 that you're talking about. All right. It got up a couple of days ago. Yes, Bernice, thank you. And hey, all right, I caught your question real quickly. And do you think someone will turn to get? I don't think that I'm going to answer you no on that, Leanne. That they're not going to get 250,000 because I really truly do not think that Sebastian is alive. You guys, Leanne, I don't think he's alive, so I can't think that. I can't think they're going to turn him in for that amount of money. If you guys think so, awesome. Answered the question. Yes, dogs. Yeah, it's dogs, 250,000. And maybe that's his strategy. Maybe dog's strategy is to put a $250,000 reward, and somebody that's holding Sebastian, like a lot of people think they're holding him. If someone's holding him, then guess what? They're going to say, I want that 250,000. Here is Sebastian. Take him back. Yes, Bernice, I think that too. I don't know. You're gonna have to look into that, Synth. Let us know. All right. I wanted to answer. I wanted to know what killed my daughter, and the coroner said that she had no idea what happened, if she thought she was in trouble or feeling pain in her chest. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Debbie. Sorry about that. And hey, beautiful Petty, Miss Jessica is saying hello. All right, there was a sighting him at the rest up. I think that should be looked into. Interesting, Kim. When was that? Because I think they already ruled that out. They've ruled out all sightings of Sebastian. Yes, and they're putting that out there. So if somebody has them, they'll want that money. Texas Florida trying to weed them out with a death penalty. Somebody talk already. All right. On that note, I think we'll leave that there. Foxy Amazon says 911 employee didn't call the tip line and called 911 on. Interesting. Interesting. You guys talking about Luigi. All right, now I know you guys are off on another subject. So I'm gonna pull this down, stop sharing, and I'm going to show you guys all some love. Give you the usual. Do me a favor. If you like the way I present true crime, hit the like button on your way out and share. If you haven't got a subscription, please do get one and become a member. On that note, I will see you guys tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. All right? Love you guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you on the internet. I'll see you around. Mwah. Bye-bye.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?